Oh, well, as you could see, I am here by myself, drinking by myself, because this club has brought us to ruin. Right? You telling me that, you know, to come out and have some drinks. This club has brought these fans to such a low point. It's just me and me alone. But it's okay. It's all right. I am Robert, and see this right here? This is the only way to drown your souls today for this club, this badge, this this badge. This right here is the only remedy. Only remedy. Welcome to Ole Talk. I don't know what to say again. You know, we thought, we turned the corner. We thought, that, we beat Crystal Palace, on Wednesday. Maybe, just maybe, we are we are finally coming good. And then yet, for some reason, as per usual, what do we do? This is what we do. This is what we do. Manchester United 0. Crystal Palace 1. Roy Hodgson, this 80-year-old fossil, was able to outdo Ten Hag at Old Trafford. How is this possible? How is this possible? I don't know. But again, I have to say it. It seems as though we take one step forward, we take 10 back. We come with a good performance, and then we go right back, just to play an absolute mess. Now, hold on. Mm, mm. I guess we could start, you know, with Ten Hag. You know, now this is not. I am not saying Ten Hag out. I believe honestly that Ten Hag is the best manager that we can have. I believe that with proper, backing and with a proper working club, I believe that Ten Hag kind of carry us to success. But until the owners don't change, I don't think we are gonna change. I think as a club, I think we as fans need to understand where we are, which is, you know, a 6 or 7. That's where we are, 6th place, 7th place, because our team was good enough. Our B side beat Palace on Wednesday. Our first team side, yes, we can talk about injuries. I mean, who was injured? Yes, Martinez was out. but we still had Varane. We didn't have a left back, but we had Amrabat. We had Casemiro in midfield. We had Mason Mount, 60 million. We had Bruno Fernandes, captain. We had Marcus Rashford, MBE. We had Koylan. We had enough on that field to beat Palace. And yet somehow these people went and scored a goal and we lost the game 1-0. Now, as I said, there's only one way to beat the sadness today. One way. Because I don't know what else to say. If we really and truly go through the game, really and truly look at the game, we went 1-0 down. And to me there was no fight. There was no fight, there was no heart in the team. I believe that there was no hunger to get back in the team. There was a stat, with saying that Bruno Fernandes had the most um, wayward passes in the Premier League. Now, I mean, that could be obviously biased, you know. But if you do look at the game, we got to a point where we were just crossing balls into the box, and there was no one there. There were numerous times where we just placed balls in the box and there was no one there. We had our 30 plus goal, guy last season, Marcus Rashford, and yet now somehow he has gone back in time, to the Marcus of you know what 3 4 years ago, and I don't know what else to say. The To me the performance was bad. The performance was poor. It was really poor. It was an embarrassment. You know, the whole team really and truly have to look at themselves. And I don't want to criticize, these players, but I think we have to, because some of these players are the same players that threw Ollie under the bus. They threw Ragnick under the bus, you know, and I do believe that these guys have no heart. They have no cojones, to really and truly um, make it in this league. You know, we saw Tottenham Hotspurs beat Liverpool over the weekend. These guys, you know, went through the ringer, but they came out on top. You know, Man City lost this weekend, and we could not beat Crystal Palace. And it was, it was very, very, it was very surreal watching that game. I don't even think I believed that we were gonna come back. And I mean, you could let me know. I mean, if I'm wrong, but I don't. I never at any point in that game believed that we were going to come back, which is very very sad. Which is very very sad. Good afternoon to Martin Phillip. Yes, it is just me. It's just me and me alone, because this club has brought our fans down. I mean, guys are hiding, guys are home, crying in the pillows, but not me. This is my friend. This here is my friend. Will never ever let you down. Ever ever let you down. Ever. You know. But I do believe that these players have no hearts. They have no substance. They have no balls, because from the first goal, I'm sorry to say it, right? And maybe I have been having a little bit too much tequila. Maybe I'm a little bit tipsy. But David here would have saved it. Yes, I'm saying it. Am I happy that we have Onana in goal? Yes. Am I happy that he is here? Yes. But David here, David here would have saved that. And it is sad. I don't think Onana the was the priority this year. Because this was the same defense that got what was 15 clean sheets. David here won the Golden Glove. Say what you want, but this defense, including David here, got us 15 clean sheets. You know. Good afternoon to Courtney. Yes, Courtney. I'm here alone, but it's okay. It's all right. You know. Hey, Big Brian Big. What's going on? Um, oh, you see when I come. Well, no worries, no worries. Brian, we here, don't worry, I have this. Call me in like a half hour time. Come and check me. We go drink something. So this club have people in a mess, but not me. Not me. I still showed up, you know. Martin Phillip is saying the City of Manchester Football Club did just that. Let their fans down. Correct. But I would say this, right? I would say this to Martin and to Man City fans. At least those guys tried to get back in the game. Those guys tried to get back in the game. Our players never tried to get back in the game. They thought that they were better than what they were, but they weren't, right? They really weren't. And again, well, I mean, Brian, yes, I mean, he's not nonsense. Brian, he's not nonsense. However, I can say this that Onana wasn't a priority because this was the same defense that got after here the Golden Glove. Our defense last year was not our problem. Our problem was attack. Our problem was midfield. And I don't believe that we did enough to solve those problems. I am happy that Onana is here. There's a lot of things that Onana brings to the team that David here cannot bring, right? Yes, I mean, he is great at distribution. Yes, he was able to bypass the lanes. Yes, but a prerequisite of a goalkeeper is to do one thing: keep the ball out the back of the net. And I'm sorry, but Onana, he looking very, very shaky. He looking very, very shaky. But he was, yes, I am saying it. I am saying it. Dav De Gea would have saved that. Am I saying that Dav De Gea didn't make howlers? No, I'm not being biased. Dav De Gea did a lot of horrible. He made a lot of horrible mistakes. He did. He did. He made some bad calls. He didn't command his box. Yes. Did Dav De Gea allow a lot of dumb goals in? Yes. But the one thing that Dav De Gea has over Onana is that the man could save. God bless David De Gea. He could save. God bless him. Now, again, I'm not saying that Onana can get better because David De Gea himself came to this club and was really poor, right, for his first season, even his second season. But then as things progressed, he became who he became, which was David De Gea. That shortstopper, that great shortstopper that we all know. So I do believe that Onana will get better. I do believe that. But the, the thing is that what I would say is that we didn't buy Onana with the hope of him getting better. We bought Onana with the hope, not with the hope, sorry, not with hope, but we bought Onana as a more or less complete goalkeeper. We brought David De Gea as a promising goalkeeper. We brought Onana as a Champions League final veteran. So to me, he should save it. He should. He should. He should. I would say he should. However, I would not put all the blame on him. I'm just saying, for me, I think Ten Hag's mistake was he prioritized a goalkeeper when he should have prioritized getting in attackers, getting in midfielders. You know, um, hey, Kestiban, big up. He says he can't really comment because I did not see the game yesterday and don't want to judge on just highlights. Even if Nana did not concede the goal, we still wouldn't have won. Our mentals have been our biggest letdown so far. And that is very, very, very true. Our mentality. We have a problem. You know, Marcus Rashford does this, but you don't realize that ever since the boys start doing this, the man brain is getting smaller. You don't find so? You don't find so? Or is it just me? Because ever since the boys started doing this, his 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 decision making has been poor. You know, he, he will see the field, and the field on one side is open grass, run as free as you want. But then on this side, he will see three defenders. And Marcus will always choose to go through the three defenders. Why? You will beat the three defenders, and then all you have to do is just cross the ball. No, you will shoot, and then you miss. And then you complain when people complain about you, but Marcus, your decision making is not this. I mean, it's not. It is not making sense. It is not making sense. Martin Phillip is saying, stop looking for excuses. Yes, we beat Palace a few days before. Our history against teams that play back to back isn't good, which is also true. But I would say this, right? I would say this. The team that beat Palace was our second string team. Our first string team could not beat Palace. And all Palace did was add in, what, two players? And that was that. So you tell me that two players added to a Palace team made all the difference? That to me doesn't add up. That to me cannot add up at all. At all, it can't add up because I believe that we need to have higher standards. We do. We are at home. This is Old Trafford. I do not believe that this same Palace team would have gone to Arsenal and win. I don't believe that the same Palace team would have gone to Man City and win, or even Liverpool. We like to, we speak about injuries, but to me, those injuries are not an excuse because if you look at the team, we had more than enough to win that game, and we had more than enough time because I do believe that Palace scored their goal in the 27th minute, I believe. So we had a whole half, the first half, and the whole second half to win the game. And all Palace had to do was just sit back and say, come. And it was so easy, it was so simple. I mean, now we can go and talk about our midfield. Our midfield, I mean, has been poor. Hold on. I like taking you a little bit of niceness, a little bit of this. Hold on. No. I mean, yeah, yeah. Right. Mm, yeah. Always, man. You see today? Today is a day for this because I would say our midfield. I mean, Casemiro is not is he's too good of a player for fans to be saying that it's all Casemiro fault. Because I don't believe it is. I think it was a mistake on Ten Hag's part to put Amrabat on, at left back. I do believe Amrabat should have gone into midfield because Casemiro cannot do that single pivot. He really can't. You put Casemiro on a double pivot with him and Amrabat and maybe Bruno in front, and I think our midfield would be a lot stronger. But we had Amrabat on, at left back. Now, again, one could say, well, we had injuries, but we had Dallo playing right back. You know, we could have found someone else to play left back. But you should put out your best team to get the best result. And I think our midfield it didn't help situations. Mason Mount is not a player that could fit in between Bruno and Casemiro. Because to me, Mason Mount and Bruno are two very similar players. You know, Bruno will go forward, Mason will go forward, and even Casemiro at times will go forward. But then what happens is that there's no one to defend. There's no one to help Casemiro, to defend. And I have said this before on this program that buying Mason Mount was it was not. I wouldn't say that it was um, a mistake. I think Mason Mount should have been should have been a squad player. We should have gone in for Amrabat from the start. We should have gone in for another player that is similar to him from the start. And then you're bringing Mason Mount after. So Mason Mount could be a backup to Bruno. And then you have Amrabat and then you have a backup to either him or Casemiro. But that three of Bruno, Mason Mount, and Casemiro, honestly, it is not working. It is not working. I don't know what Eric will do to do it. Will do to fix it, but that is why Eric gets paid the money because he has to fix it. And if we go to Bruno, I think we need to have a real conversation about Bruno right now. I think so. Now, I don't know the rules, but I do believe that it should be okay to sub your captain because I saw last week Spurs played Arsenal in the North London derby, and their coach took off Son, who was their captain. So to me, if he could do it, why can't Ten Hag do it? Because I believe two of our poorest players on that pitch yesterday was Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Now, yes, Marcus did come off, but to me, Bruno should have come off as well. Now, one could say, well, then who else would we bring in place of Bruno? In place of Bruno, again, I can't say. But if you're the captain, you are supposed to step up. You are supposed to lead by example. And I find that too many times we go behind in games and there's too much complaining and not enough fights. You know, again, if I am wrong, you all let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I don't. I think some Bruno has lost lost a step, and I think we should be allowed to to criticize players. We should. The same way how we praise them when they do good, we should be able to say when you are doing bad. And to me, Bruno has not stepped up this year. He has not. You are not the captain. You are the captain. So my thing is lead by example. You cannot allow Crystal Palace to come and beat you at home. That to me is just it is ridiculous. Now, when we go to the front three, Pelestri did well. He hasn't been. I believe that this is his second start. He has been doing good. I like that. I like his drive. He keeps going. You know, Quadon played again. He looked good. You saw why Ten Hag Waterman. No, I would also say this. I do believe that it was a mistake to not also buy a Hurricane because I believe with Hurricane and Hoyland that would have set our our attack for the next 8 9 years because I think it is kind of unfair to have Hoyland come into this team and all the pressure is now on this kid. It is unfair. And as fans, we are looking for him to really drive the attack. And he can't do it all. He can't do all by himself. He can't. But I like how he played. I like his link up. He was strong. He was direct. The penalty appeal to me wasn't a penalty. It really wasn't. Um, but he again did well. And I think if he had better service, and again it comes right back to Bruno. Poor service. It was poor. He had a very poor game. And now we have to get to Marcus. Marcus just I I do believe that there's a player in Marcus. But I do also believe that I think in a team with more competition, he would strive more because he would know that his spot is not guaranteed. Now, I'll ask all of you guys this and comment below and let me know if I am wrong or not. But let's all do an experiment. How many of our players, how many of our first team players can get into the Man City first team? How many? If you really want to judge how good of a team you have to compare them to people who are above you because that is where we want to go. We want to reach where Arsenal is, where Man City is. Man City is where we all want to reach. So then now you have to ask yourself, how many of our players will will really and truly get into Man City's first team? How many? And the the um the 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 sad thing is that the answer might be zero. The sad thing is the answer might be zero. Even if you look at their bench, how many of our first team players can get onto their bench? And again, I go back to what Kes spoke about, mentality. I don't believe that a lot of these guys have the mentality to really and truly kick on to the next level. Because if you want to be champions, you have to be able to work through and fight through hard times. And this team has shown, these players have shown time after time after time, when things go bad, when things get hard, people go missing. And until we don't break that mental block that we have, I don't see us. I see these kind of performances happening over and over again. Now, I do believe that we will go to we our next game is in the Champions League against Galatasaray. I think we may get a result, and then people will say, "You see, look, you know, we turned the corner, but we can't keep turning corners." I think we need to be consistent. See, consistency is where we are at. Consistency. Too many players are inconsistent. Too many players. You know, we need to have players who are consistently a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 every game. And then we have the 3 or 4 who are 7. And once we get players who can maybe hit us at 8 out of 10 performance every other game, I think we will be far better off. But we have too many inconsistent players in this team. Now I'll ask the other question. How many of our players will get into Arsenal's first team? How many? One, two. Take out the bias. Remove the bias. Just remove your bias and think. I mean, how many of our players would really and truly get onto Arsenal's first team? Martin is saying, I'm listening to what you're saying, but who should take the blame for that? The players or the manager? I think it is a combination of both. I think it is a combination of the manager and the players. I believe that at least on the players side, I think we need to do the players that we have are not strong enough. The manager, 'cause I think the manager needs to get the players that he knows that he can rely on. It also comes back down to recruitment. Because I will say this, I think other teams we will take say Brighton and Man City. Brighton has a very, very good recruitment team. They bring in a certain caliber of players, a certain level of players. They bring in players who have a certain mentality. Man City brings in players again with a certain mentality. They come to this team, you know, with a certain drive, and then they will meet Pep. Pep, who also has that mentality of I have to win every day, every game I have to win. Even when we win a game, I want perfection. And I think Manchester, we need to get proper recruitment. We need a proper recruitment team to bring in the players, not just based on your skill, but you have to look deeper. You have to look into their psyche. What kind of player are they? When they face hard times, what did they do? Did they hide away, or did they or did they stand up and be counted? Were they were they the kind of people who will come and shout and say it's your fault and it's your fault and it's your fault, or are they the kind of players who will come and say, I had a poor game, next game I will do better? You know, Onana came out the other day and said how the game, and he said how I had a poor, I had a very poor performance. I was poor. I will do better. You can't say you're gonna do better, but then I'm seeing the same errors. So I do think it's both it's both players and the manager. Um, the players, because again they don't have the drive, they don't have the mentality to go through hard times. I think the coach also, because yes, he's bringing in players and more of his players. Yes, but then I think he himself also has to. I think he has to understand what players he has in his team and how best to use them. And I think last season he saw who the players were, and he played to their strengths and tried to hide their weaknesses. And we got some level of success. So I think it is a combination of both, but it comes back down to again poor ownership, um, poor recruitment. The club is not run to play proper football. It is run to make money, and that is the be all end all. And until these owners are not gone, I do not believe that things would change. We will have good days, and then we will have bad days, and then we will have somewhat okay days. But to say we would have reached to a point where we will watch the game, and despite the score, we will never give up. I With this group of players, I don't see it happening. I do believe that Ten Hag is trying to bring in those guys who have that mentality to 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 go through the brick wall, to go through those hard times and come out the next side. But he also has players that who were there during the time of Ragnick, during the time of Oli, and and these guys will always, drag things down. We look at even the whole situation with Sancho. He's happy just to. How could he be happy just to lime with a bunch of children? You know, with the under 18s. It just shows again his level of drive. Because all you had to do was just say, boss, I'm sorry, and that was it. But his ego can't allow him to say sorry. So he would rather play Fortnite, you know, and EAFC and whatever else than come and play for my club. And if that is the case, then I would say to Sancho, well, you know, we don't need you either because we don't need these players who are going to bring down the team. We need guys who are going to fight for this badge. I believe, I believe Martinez will fight for the badge. I think Onana, yes, Onana had a very has had a very hard time, but I do believe he will get better. I do believe he will start to really and truly um, command his post. I think the saves that he's not making, he will start to make it, you know. But you could see that he himself tries. You know, Amrabat, the man fought to get here, you know. So, and I do believe that he is a fighter. Casemiro is a fighter. Hoyland, you could see it, you know. You could see that he was a fighter. Even small Pelestri, you know, Pelestri was not a Ten Hag signing, but you could see it, you know. Um, Meshbury, you know, you could Hannibal, you could see it. You know, this youth sees his chance, and he's coming to take it. You know, I will be happy to see Kobe Mano come back. You know, and see how the team can go. But it shouldn't be that our whole entire team has to be fit just to beat Crystal Palace at home. You know, to me that should not be allowed at this so-called big club. You know, because if we want to say that we are a big club, then we need to act like we are a big club. You know, from top to bottom. You know, so what can I say? The most I could say is, you know, we go again in the Champions League. I believe it is on Tuesday. I believe. You know, so we shall see. We shall see how it goes. We shall see how the game goes. You know, I mean, I'm hoping for a better result. You know, I'm hoping for a much better performance. You know, now people will say that Robert, you're ranting, and it's only because you lost the game. No, this has been our problem for the past 6 7 years. Mentality. These boys have no, they have no cojones. They have no cojones. You know, they need that steel. They need to fight through when things get hard. You know, they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Your boys are making too much money to give in these subpar performances. You know, so I want my team to do better. I want my team to succeed. I want to see my team back on top. But until things don't change with the owners, the recruitment, with the with with our manager, with our players, this is gonna be our season. A little bit up and then down. A little bit up and then down. But I will say this. Don't panic. Don't lose the faith. You know, and most importantly, today Yeah. The most important thing that you will have today. So this is me, you know, Carlton is saying to hug out. I would say not yet. I would say not yet. I mean, not yet, not yet. Um, and he's saying that we beat, yes, exactly. As they came on, and yep, exactly. You know, so now I mean, I do, again, his system is very, I don't know his system. I don't. I cannot see his system, you know. And it's very true. I mean, we can't score goals. But I will say one thing, I do trust him to get things right. I do trust him to get things right. Who I don't trust are the owners, the board, the people who run the club, recruitment, and the players. All those players, I don't trust them. So I am not Ten Hag out as yet. I am not, but I could see that trending very, very, very soon, especially if results don't don't change. Yes, free advertising, very, very true. People, tequila. Tequila is the word of the day today. Who do you think will be first? Hmm, Burnley, Burnley. Because I do not believe that I don't believe that our owners will fight it hard right now. I think our board and the owners, the Glazers, they love PR. And right now the fans have not gone against Ten Hag as yet. You see, like when they fired Jose, it's because the fans were had already gone against Jose. They got rid of Oli, but the fans went against Oli. They got so I think they will wait until the fans have are against Ten Hag to fire him. But as long as fans are still saying keep him, keep him around, trust the process, they won't fire him. They won't because cause anything that keeps the focus away from them, they are happy. So and right now, Ten Hag is keeping us fans happy. So but again, if things keep going the way how they are going, I could see more fans going against Ten Hag. If by December we are still in the same place, I could see fans saying Ten Hag out because even for the game on Sunday, there were boos. People were booing the team, not the manager, but the team. And when the fans begin to boo the manager, that is when the Glazers will fire Ten Hag. But I do believe that at the Burnley manager will go first. I do believe that. And Carlton is saying from the time we lost to Brentford last season, I gave up. Well, oh my word. Well, see, Carlton, the next time, right? Don't go to Mount Hope. Don't do that. Don't go Mount Hope. Tequila, right? Do not let this team send you to the hospital. Tequila, you know. So, um, my closing thoughts for today. I don't know. The team, the team let me down. The team let me down. They let me down. They let the fans down. They let themselves down. And I expect on for our next game, we have to win. And we have to win convincingly. Bruno needs to step up. Rashford needs to step up. You know, Onana, please, make a save. You know, um, I agree with that. I agree. I do agree. I did say earlier in the show that we bought in Onana maybe a little bit too early, but again, I will keep the faith. I will keep the faith, and I do believe that the more that the team plays together, they'll begin to gel, and things will work out. Yes, there are players that have to be moved on, and there are players that have to come in to make the whole system work. But I do believe that Onana, the back four, the midfield, the attack, I think it'll begin to, it will begin to mesh. It really will begin to mesh. Um, Carlton needs some milk of the poppy. Correct is right. Correct is right. Carlton, you need to, you must never let this club send you to the hospital. Never do that. Um, we don't have a player to drive the team forward the way Saka does, which is true. And and again, I mean, I will say it again. I do think that this is a this is a huge learning curve for the team. I think our preseason was not very well planned out. I think if we had gotten our business done early or earlier, I think our preseason should have been spent in England at Old Trafford, at Carrington, Hoju drills. You know, showing the players how to play with Andre and showing Andre how to play with with the players. But we spend too much time traveling to this place and that place because again, pre-season is all about money. It's about money. Um, Carlton is saying Bruno is our key player, is a long ball specialist. He takes too long, which is true. He does. He does. He does. You know, Bruno believes in these fancy pants passes that they just don't work. You know, they don't work at all. They don't work. And I think we need to keep things more simple. You know, keep things simple. That's what I would say. But I do believe that Ten Hag will turn things around. It will take time and patience, and we will go through a lot more of these kind of games before we get things right. A lot more. So, guys, put on your seatbelts, get comfy, but and prepare yourself because this is just the beginning. However, keep the faith, and we will improve. But until then, I am gonna leave this bar and drown my sorrows with my best friend right now. So to everyone in the comments, thank you very much for you know for coming through. Um, Thank you to Martin Phillip, to Carlton, to Cass, to Courtney, Brian Big, my lawyer. Big up to everybody and make sure share the video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, yes. So thank you very much, Martin. Thank you very much. You know, because sometimes I feel like some of our fans, they don't like to be on the show, but it's when we lose. But that is why we have. That's why it's called Ole Talk. You come and share your sorrows with everyone else, and I guarantee you, by the end of the show, you'll be happy. You know. So as as we say, we move on to the next game. And thank you for everyone for tuning in. I am Robert. I'm your host. I'm gonna go and deal with my friends. Always remember, guys, there's only one solution. One solution. One for today.